Hey guys, it's Stephen here, back with another video. It's Sunday evening. Manchester City play Leicester tomorrow. It might be Monday morning when you're watching this, and I'm so nervous about it. Today, I'm going to preview that game though and see what we can expect from that game. I'm really not looking forward to it at all. But as ever, this channel is sponsored by the wonderful people over at OneFootball. It's dead good, I promise you. Go download it in the link in the description below, because transfer season is very nearly on us, and you'll get all the latest transfer news before anyone else gets them via the app. Go download it. It's dead good, I promise. Right, this game, this horrible little game, our penultimate game of the season, our last home game of the season, Leicester City, in-form Leicester City. This game. Where do we start with this one? I can't really go on this one without touching on yesterday. Liverpool once again being the most frustrating, jammy side in the world. I think even the most ardent Liverpool fans would struggle to disagree with that after yesterday's game. Well, they probably would disagree, but they definitely were very favourable yesterday. Some shocking decisions going in their favour, but that's Liverpool. As I've been saying recently on these videos, in general they've done well to get to this place where we are, but we can't expect any favours from them or anyone else. We have to win the rest of our games, and it looks so likely that once again we're going to have to win 14 games in a row in the league to win the Premier League. Are we capable of it? Well, yes, of course we are. We've done it before, as recently as last season, and this is a very highly driven team. Is it going to be easy? Well, definitely not. And this game tomorrow is absolutely everything. It feels like tomorrow is everything. I know the final game will be it, but we have to win tomorrow. We just literally have to win tomorrow. This isn't a good team to play against. This is a good Leicester side. Pep's been saying the same thing as well. He said Leicester were a counter-attacking team, but with Brendan Rodgers, they've got another way to play. They have incredible quality. I saw in the last 3 games, I was really impressed. Brendan has showed his incredible qualities as a manager, and in 2 months, he already played the way he wants them to play. Yeah, that's Leicester these days under Brendan Rodgers, and they've got a very good team, as I'll go into later. Obviously, as well, we played them a couple of times this season already. We did lose in the reverse fixture 2-1, of course, and we only got past them in the Carabao quarter-final after a penalty shootout. So this isn't a team we've had good joy against, and obviously they've done pretty well against us every now and then over recent years, given they've had some good players. So it isn't a very easy game, if we're being totally honest. Brendan Rodgers has been very praiseworthy of us as well. He's a good manager, Brendan Rodgers. I know he's a bit like cringy in that, but he's actually a good manager. So on to the team news. Fernandinho is doubtful. I would be very surprised if we play Fernandinho tomorrow. It just doesn't seem likely, in my humble opinion. I think also as well, Kevin De Bruyne, he's got to be out, let's be honest. He's going to be out for a while, which is a massive shame, because he's the kind of game where we need Kevin De Bruyne's drive, his determination, that steely resolve, something to drive us through these games. I mean, obviously we still do have enough quality to win these games anyway. Of course we know that, and that's no disrespect to the teams we're playing against. We just know that we do. But it would have been easier with Kevin De Bruyne, wouldn't it? Now, maybe against a team like Leicester, Fernandinho would be absolutely crucial, given the fact that they've got so many counter-attacking players, so much skill in midfield. But maybe as well, a good way to go head-to-head with Leicester is to play them at their own games, and maybe Gundogan midfield could be a decent thing if Fernandinho can't play. Which leads me on to the lineup, and I'll talk through this as much as I can. Ederson will be in goal, of course. Ederson's been absolutely fantastic recently, as we all know. His form between the sticks has been very good. Touch wood, it carries on there as well. He's been stepping up to the plate, and he'll usually and hopefully be that calm head that we need to keep our cool and keep the ball on the ground and get going from the back, as we always do. Now, Walker will play right back. He's in excellent form at the moment. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I think the big captain Kompany might play, even though I don't think that's wise. I think Stones has got a little bit more pace. But even though Stones has looked a little bit kind of slow in the turn recently, so I still think Kompany will play. It's a tough one with those two, but I'm not sure. Vardy's pacing behind. I'm hoping we'll see Walker kind of be a little bit more reserved, maybe, just to keep a track on those runs from Vardy, because obviously Vardy has absolute shitloads of pace and an eye for goal. Laporte alongside Kompany I'm going for. This is not what I want, by the way. This is what I think will happen. Laporte alongside Kompany there. Then Zinchenko. I think it's pretty obvious that Mendy just seems to be a little bit dead at the moment. I don't know if he'll be involved in this one, but Zinchenko most likely will be at left back, and that's probably fair enough at the moment. See, now with Fernandinho doubtful, I think Gundogan in midfield is the most likely scenario here. Gundogan as well, obviously, has been pretty good recently. I think largely he's more effective as number 6. I'm not sure he'll actually agree with that, but I think when he's got onto the ball, put his foot on it and started passing it around, he's been very good and helped drive us forward repeatedly. He's obviously got that added composure that makes him a little bit more press resistant usually. and Leicester do press a lot more than they used to under Brendan Rodgers. So in general, Gundogan could be a good player there if he has his A game on. Ahead of them, I think, given the injuries to Kevin De Bruyne and given the fact I can't see Foden playing in this game personally, I think Bernardo and David Silva will play there. The two Silvers will be ahead of Gundogan. And obviously Bernardo has been absolutely fantastic recently. You know, in the centre there, he could be an absolutely huge person for us. I expect to see him doing that and switching with the wingers every now and then. And David Silva being David Silva. We need that kind of form we saw at Old Trafford to carry on into this game. I think Bernardo will switch about with Sterling, you can see on the right, and I actually think it'll be Sane just because of the decisions. I know we've all seen that stuff in the papers recently about Sane and Guardiola having a bit of needle with each other, but that could just be Duncan Castles being Duncan Castles. Though I don't suspect everything is rosy with Sane, and I hope it is. I don't suspect it is perfect, but I think in general that kind of stuff in the training ground does happen. You know, players are sarcastic with each other and whatever. So if it's true, it isn't a big deal. Much worse has been said on a training ground, and much worse will be forgotten about on a training ground than that. So I'm not too worried about that in terms of the overall grand scheme of things. But I suspect if we do see Sterling out wide, recently Sterling and Bernardo have been switching in, so Sterling will go more central, Bernardo cut out wide, even though initially this station there, and I think we'll see a lot of fluidity like that. Once again, we need something better from Sarnes. I thought he was a little bit poor against Burnley. Not terrible, but a little bit poor. Hopefully now he's played a couple of games in a row, hopefully Silva will link up very well with him. Zinchenko understanding him a little bit more. They've had plenty of time to get this working, of course, as well, as we all know, because we've had quite a rest, which is unlikely, because we've not had a rest for a long time, so we've had 8 days resting, which is very, very nice. Then up front, it's going to be Sergio Aguero, the man for the big occasion there. Hopefully Sergio will bag a couple of goals to ease the early Etihad nerves there. Right, on to the opposition. Let me get Leicester's results up. I know their general form, but let's get their results up on the moment on here, so I'm typing. Right, so Leicester are genuinely pretty good recently. They battered Arsenal the other week. Arsenal are pretty abject at the moment, but they battered Arsenal 3-0 at home, of course, and they drew away to West Ham. They lost, actually, away to Newcastle. So they dropped points. They lost at home to Newcastle before that. They've also beat Leicester they are Leicester. Beat Huddersfield 4-1, they beat Bournemouth 2-0, they beat Burnley 2-1 away, they beat Fulham 3-1. They've won basically 5 games, I think, under Rodgers so far, and they're showing signs of a vibrancy, a bit of a comeback since Claude Puel's been sacked, looking very, very likely. In terms statistically, Leicester have earned 16 points under Brendan Rodgers since he was appointed at the end of February. Only City and Liverpool won more in that time period. So essentially, they are a very informed team, and Rodgers has got them playing good football. There's no way sugarcoating that. They are actually a good team, unfortunately, and they do win points at the moment. Vardy scored 10 goals in 9 league appearances as well since Rodgers has come in, or since Puel was sacked. I'm not sure if he came in immediately. Either way, he's in form, put it that way. He's also scored 31 goals against top 6 opponents since his Premier League debut, which is just fantastic, in 2014-15. So he is the danger man there. And Youri Tielemans as well has contributed 7 goals in his last 9 league appearances, scoring 3 and setting up 4. So he's a very fantastic little footballer, as we all know. That team in general, though, behind Vardy, it's just full of skill, energy. You've got like Maddison, Tielemans, O'Brighton. You've got Chowdhury and Ndidi, going to be snapping into tackles in midfield. We know Chilwell can get forward very well. It's a young, energetic team. And then you've got the likes of like Maguire or Kasper Schmeichel, who can have big games, you know, the other end of the pitch. So it's a very good Leicester team. It's a good Leicester team that you've got to take seriously. A Leicester team that's very well drilled under a very good manager. People give Brendan Rodgers a lot of stick because he comes out with cringy, embarrassing things, but I actually think he's a good manager, Brendan Rodgers. He's a good coach, you know. I know he's been over in Celtic and whatever, but he did basically his best he possibly could do at Celtic. But I thought before that he was good. He's got a good pedigree. He was decent at Liverpool, of course, and he was good, obviously, at Swansea before that. I think Brendan Rodgers is a good manager, and I think in general, largely, they'll come out as attackers. Now, onto the prediction bit really here. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. I think Leicester will come out and attackers. I think it'll make it an open game, and traditionally there's been lots of goals between these two teams at the Etihad. There's loads of goals Manchester City and Leicester play. I'm just hoping for once it's on our end. I'll take a 4-3 if it's necessary. I'll take a spectacular goal fest. I don't care as long as we get the 3 points. Having said that, even though I expect plenty of goals, I've got a feeling, even though traditionally logic dictates goals, I've got a feeling it could be tighter than we hope. I'm hoping it's going to be like the last couple of games where it felt nervous, anxious and horrible while we were in the game in terms of United and Burnley. But when we look back over the game afterwards and look at the statistics, we think, actually, you know what? We largely dominated those games. It's just only in the moment does it feel so horrible, but only when you look back afterwards can you go, actually, we were better than we realised. It just felt awful during it. I've got a feeling that might be the case tomorrow. Now, I'm not trying to sound arrogant here. I'm genuinely not. Just general logic. And I mean this with all due respect to Leicester. General logic dictates that Manchester City probably will win this game. We're favourites, of course. I'm not taking anything for granted. I'm still feeling that we might win it. I'm not going to put a score prediction on it, but I think it's going to be close. But I think we might just do enough. It's terrifying. I've got a lot of belief in this team. It's just, I fear the worst. And after winning 12 games in a row, and after Liverpool getting all that luck, I'm just terrified of some contentious, horrible, absolutely minging referee decision. I think it's Mike Dean in charge. Is it Mike Dean? Please don't be Mike Dean. I'm just Googling it right now. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is Mike Dean in charge. Oh, great. We've got Mike Dean in charge, Mr. Hollywood himself. And I've got a feeling we might see some absolutely contentious nonsense which could drive us all mad. And if it does, I'm just hoping that the players don't let it get to them and keep going, because the title race could literally be over tomorrow potentially. I mean, it's not going to be over because obviously Liverpool got Wolves, but you know what I'm saying. It could be almost impossible. So I think we should be okay. I'm just dreading it. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be nervy. It's going to be anxious. And can you promise me all one thing? If you lose, just let's all take a deep breath and just try and be calm. I'll do a video if the worst comes to worst tomorrow. But I ain't going to be reading any comments. I ain't going to be going on Twitter. I'm going to have my head down and disappear for a long time because I want to. I'll do videos still, of course, but it'll be horrible. Anyway, guys, that's just my take on the game. I think it's going to be nervy, horrible, minging, but it could be also a very good game at the same time because Brendan Rodgers has got this Leicester team playing good football. He's got a bunch of young players who want to run at people and be energetic and prove themselves, and it could be an open game, which is going to be horrible. Right, let me know what you think of that. Let me know your thoughts on the game as well. Thank you as ever to all these names scrolling down the side of me. These are my patrons who help keep this channel going. I'm going to do a Patreon Q&A this week. So if you're a $10 tier or more, let me know your questions by messaging me on Patreon, or put that your Patreon below in the comments, whatever, and I'll see it and I'll try and get it all done for you very much soon. Thank you very much for all the support from all you guys. Fingers crossed for the best tomorrow. In a bit.